Happening now. County executive comments on the district attorney. And a local man publishes his first novel.
I'm Justin Gould in the First Defense Weather Center. Some scattered snow showers are making their way across our region. We'll talk about that and what's to come for the weekend coming up.
I'm Ryan Hedrick at the Phone Zone Sports Desk. We're running a fast break with Bonnie's analyst Ron Lemon next in sports.
That's News Now for Friday, February 9th, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Rory Polero. We start with some breaking news this afternoon. Forestville Central Schools remain in a lockout protocol while police investigate a reported threat. School officials said the lockout remains in effect as late as 11:20 this morning, while officials awaited further information from law enforcement. Chautauqua County Sheriff Joseph Gerasi told WNY News Now the school took administrative action against a non-teacher, an employee, and they initiated the lockout protocol as a precautionary measure. Gerasi said the sheriff's office is investigating and currently there is no threat to the district. Parents did receive an automated phone call earlier this morning notifying them of the lockout. The school says students are safe inside the building and classes are continuing normally. We will continue to update this breaking story as it progresses. The Chautauqua County District Attorney's Office is under some fire from members of the community following a verdict this week that acquitted a man of attempting to kill a police officer. County Executive George Borrello is speaking out about some of the concerns raised not only after this weekend's verdict, but after several mistrials linked to prosecutorial mishaps in Patrick Swanson's office. Borrello was responding to WNY News Now's inquiry.
So that's certainly a concern for me as county executive. Just the human standpoint, we want to make sure that Chautauqua County is known as a proper law and order community, that we get things done correctly, and that people view justice system in our criminal justice system in Chautauqua County as being efficient and fair and speedy at the same time. We want to see those things happen, and whatever I can do to assist, whether it's the district attorney or the public defender or whatever, to achieve that goal, I'll do whatever I can in my power to do so.
George, I know you are so ingrained in this community and you're in touch with your constituents every day, whether it be your business plan or just your day-to-day interactions as the leader of this county. Do you sense maybe a demoralization amongst public and law enforcement officials right now?
I don't know if demoralization would be the right word. There's certainly concern. At the end of the day, in the scheme of the past several years, I'm hoping that this is just a blip on the radar, and I will say that there is definitely concern. I've spoken with people in law enforcement as well as just members of the community, other elected officials, and there's certainly concern about the trend we're seeing. So no doubt about it. But I will say that every single person involved in law enforcement and criminal justice works hard every day in Chautauqua County to do the best that they possibly can. And I don't see this as impacting the day-to-day safety of the people of Chautauqua County. I guess all I would say is that, we are aware of what's going on, and myself as the county executive do everything I can to make sure that the county taxpayers' dollars are being spent wisely and that we're doing the best, most effective job that we can.
In 2017, there were mistrials in cases involving a kidnapping suspect, a shooting suspect, and one plea deal in the high-profile murder case of a man who murdered his wife. In other news, if Governor Cuomo has his way, there'll no longer be bail for misdemeanors or nonviolent felonies. Cuomo is proposing bail for these charges be eliminated as part of a broad plan to revamp the state justice system. Cuomo said too many people await trial behind bars simply because they have little money. The governor's plans also call for steps to ensure speedier trials, improve pretrial discovery, address asset forfeiture, and to help inmates transition from life behind bars to community living. Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies have charged Bridget G. Putman, 25, of Falconer, with several charges after a traffic stop at about 2:30 Thursday morning on Route 394 in Asheville. Canine Officer Link was dispatched, and police said the search found methamphetamines, prescription pills, and drug paraphernalia. Deputies also said Putman was driving on a revoked driver's license. Putman was charged with 2 counts of 7th-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 2nd-degree aggravated unlicensed operation, operating outside of an interlock restriction, unlicensed operation, and having an inadequate muffler. She will face the charges in the town of North Harmony Court at a later date. Now we check in with Justin Gould, who's in our Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter's seat today.
Rory, good Friday to you, and thanks for joining us. First, we want to look at the current conditions across much of western New York. Right now, it's 16 degrees here in the city of Jamestown. Another cold one as you started your day. Warmer as you head towards the lakeshore. 20 in Dunkirk, 18 in Olean, and 18 in Buffalo. We take you to school. JCC's campus is looking snowy. We'll have totals coming up in just a bit on how much snow we received overnight, and also what's to come with your full 7-day forecast in just a bit. Back to you, Roy.
Justin, thank you. A program put on by Baby Cafe, CASIC, and UPMC Chautauqua WCA Hospital is going on right now. It's trying to raise awareness about opioid addiction in pregnant women and exposure to infants. Our Ryan Hedrick continues our coverage at UMPC Chautauqua WCA Hospital.
WCA Hospital on this Friday afternoon. Dr. Davina Moss King is holding a conference inside. She's talking about opiates and how they affect pregnant women. There is an epidemic in this country and in this city of infants being born to drug-addicted mothers, and that's exactly what's being addressed inside. Dr. Davina Moss King is a child psychiatrist. She teaches at Canisius College in Buffalo. She's from the Buffalo area. She speaks around the country about this very subject. We're told that WCA has received a grant for this very conference, and the room is packed. As you can see, we'll have more later this afternoon at WNYNewsNow.com. Reporting from WCA Hospital, I'm Ryan Hedrick, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Ryan, thank you. We'll have more on this event later at WNYNewsNow.com. Next, an Allegheny man is facing charges after police say he led them on a chase. And later, the story of a self-published author right here in the city of Jamestown. So stay with us.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. Love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Do news like no one else. Investigations that get results.
There was a bunch of kids over here playing football, and the ball kicked over onto her. She picked it up and took a butcher knife, stabbed it. Cops wouldn't do nothing.
WNY News Now investigates, standing up for you while holding the powerful accountable. If you have a problem, we're here to help. WNY News Now. WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333.
A man is accused of leading troopers as they attempted to pull him over for allegedly speeding on I-86 last Saturday, according to the New York State Police. 23-year-old Damian Greaves of Allegheny was reportedly traveling 90 miles an hour in a posted 65-mile-an-hour zone. Troopers say they pulled Greaves over after about 4 miles after he was delayed in traffic. During the interview, police said they smelled alcohol on Greaves' breath. He also allegedly admitted to being intoxicated. He submitted to a breath test where he registered a 0.18 BAC. He was charged with aggravated driving while intoxicated, third-degree unlawful fleeing a police officer, second-degree aggravated unlicensed operation, and other traffic violations. Greaves was arraigned in Allegheny Town Court, where he was released on his own recognizance by the judge to appear at a later date. Now, Harley-Davidson is recalling about 250,000 motorcycles because of a problem with the brakes, which can cause brakes to fail without warning. The massive motorcycle retailer says the problem can be fixed simply by flushing the brake fluid. Harley-Davidson is performing the service at no cost to the owners. The models involved are the 2008 to 2011 Touring, CVO Touring, and VRSC. They all have anti-lock braking systems. There have been 43 complaints, 3 accidents, and 2 injuries reported on the motorcycles because of this problem. And all eyes on South Korea as the Winter Olympics opening ceremony takes place tonight. The games are supposed to be a time of peace and friendly rivalries on the ice and the slopes, but the lead up to the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang has highlighted certain global tensions. Karin Keifu looks at some of the geopolitical systems and games and the strategy of some countries, including the U.S., as the world watches.
Spectacle and sport are center stage in Pyeongchang, but also in the spotlight, diplomacy that could tee up what's next in the region. North Korea's Olympic overtures began with well wishes to the South ahead of the Games in Kim Jong-un's New Year's address. Next came talks, then plans to march under one flag and a unified women's ice hockey team. Not everyone has welcomed the idea of standing with a neighboring dictator or warmly welcomed the hundreds of North Koreans, including a pop star, the head of North Korea's parliament, and Kim Jong-un's sister, the first time any member of his family has visited the South. All of it amid North Korea's heightened tensions with the U.S. In a State of the Union address light on foreign policy, President Trump did take pointed jabs at Kim Jong-un's regime.
The cruel dictatorship in North Korea.
The father of Otto Warmbier, the American college student who died after imprisonment in North Korea, was in the chamber that night and is also part of Vice President Pence's American delegation to Pyeongchang for the opening ceremonies.
We'll be ensuring that whatever cooperation that's existing between North and South Korea today on Olympic teams does not cloud the reality.
Also adding to Olympic dynamics, Russia banned from fielding a team after doping violations. Athletes deemed eligible by the International Olympic Committee will wear a uniform that says Olympic athlete from Russia, and with any medal ceremony, only the Olympic anthem will play. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has said he hopes the Pyeongchang Games will be an opportunity for cooperation among the entire international community, and especially a way to build relationships in Asia. The real question, what happens after the closing ceremonies? And with key players hosting the next 2 games, North Korea could be a factor again and again. The 2020 Summer Olympics will take place in Tokyo, the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing. In Washington, I'm Karin Keifu.
Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
It'll be exciting to see some Olympic action tonight and see that opening ceremony. We'll see how South Korea is able to wow the rest of the world. And then the games did earlier today, I believe, right? They had some games, I think, even last night. So, Justin Gould in for Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. we can thank the Lord that he's coming back next week. Looking at some snow totals from just the last 24 hours, like we've been kind of predicting, really not too much, only a little over. The highest mark is in Little Valley in our area, 1.6 inches, and then as we go down the line here, you see not too much in our neck of the woods, but still you had those snow-covered roads as you came through the area this morning, so definitely could have been a little slick of a commute. Looking at the wide view of Doppler right now, we do have a few snow showers across our area. More as you head out west towards Chicago, you kind of get that rain-snow mix. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a bit. Looking closer in our neck of the woods again, you do see a few of those showers moving through our area up by the Dunkirk area through Jamestown, so it definitely is snowing outside. Nothing new that we haven't seen today. So again, we'll see that snow before 2 o'clock, and then we could get a couple breaks of sunshine, but it looks like most of the clouds are going to hang around. We'll top out near 32 degrees here in the city of Jamestown, so it'll be wet and fluffy. Colder as you head throughout the lakeshore as well. That sunset is at 5:41, slowly getting more daylight as we creep towards spring. Wanted to show you the ViperCast models. You see, this is the snow throughout much of the afternoon hours, and then we do kind of get that break in there as we head throughout the afternoon. Most of it heads up towards the north, affecting the Buffalo area. And again, you could see those breaks of sunshine, but again, it looks like just now this is information's coming into us that we will see these clouds come in. But then this is tomorrow morning. You see that snow affecting our area, and then we could have that mix as the temps warm as we head throughout the afternoon hours, and that could cause some problems for folks. So again, your weekend forecast, again, we'll see that snow early on Saturday, and then it changes over to rain as we head throughout the afternoon. We top out near 38 degrees here in Jamestown. Pretty much the same story on Sunday as well, as we see those warmer temperatures. We'll look around the region here in Chautauqua County. Look at Frewsburg. Almost 40 degrees tomorrow as a high. It's almost unreal. And then we see the mid-30s topping out throughout much of the rest of the area with that rain-snow mix expected. Over to Cat County now. 30s expected throughout much of the day, almost touching 40 in Olean. Could see some more sunshine in Cat County, although it will have quite a bit of rain in the afternoon for our day there tomorrow. Next 7 of our days, here's 3 of them. Saturday and Sunday, again, looking pretty much the same. You see that rain-snow mix, and then we do warm up as we head throughout next week. Sunshine on Monday, Rory, and then Tuesday we'll see some more clouds than sun, but almost touching 40 degrees is going to feel nice, and that'll stay throughout the day. We did, yeah. It's not quite going to lick 40 degrees. I think when Dakota comes back next week, we'll have better insight on that. But it looks like after the 7-day, heading towards next weekend, we could cool down.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. Like great food, great news needs experts. Become a community reporter when you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about. Drop us a line on Facebook today. Speaking of great food, Jeremy's Bellevue offers pasta, classic burgers, seafood, and of course, wings. Visit Jeremy's Bellevue on Facebook.
The team that puts coverage first.
We have some breaking news. Police confirming now that Steve Stevens was found dead in Erie, Pennsylvania.
His house is on fire and it's dangerously close to the Appleyard Terrace.
Fire crews battling another blaze.
It needs to be treated as the terrorist act that it is.
He got the ball, he just went to the hoop and he shot it.
And as for the star of the show, Tucker Pierce,
I think I feel good.
Proceeds from the Battle of the Classes going to the Alex Folk Foundation.
50 years of service and dedication to anything is very impressive. Put your lives on the line for your neighbors.
It's just something that I think people should do. You have to give back to the community.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Lemon joins us on the phone. It is a big weekend of A-10 basketball. And Ron, it really starts tonight because Rhode Island and Davidson are going head-to-head. When you look at the top four teams, Rhode Island, Davidson, St. Bonaventure, Richmond, those four teams will be accounted for within our viewing and watching parameters. It'll be a very interesting weekend once Sunday unfolds to see where the A-10 really is.
Well, absolutely, because obviously St. Bonaventure and Richmond are going neck and neck. Right now would be holding down third and the fourth spot. So their game is pivotal, which means tonight's game is pivotal because if Rhode Island wins that game, then that would put St. Bonaventure closer to Davidson. And even though they lost earlier this year to Davidson, looking at the remainder of St. Bonaventure's schedule, I think it favors St. Bonaventure making a run past them and very likely having a shot at second place in the conference.
But St. Bonaventure right now has won its last 4 games, and they're 16-6 on the season. I, for one, did not see this type of explosion in February from St. Bonaventure because of the fact that the Bonnies had a significant kind of stoppage in momentum in early December, but they're a completely different team.
The guy who was supposed to be the go-to player this year, Jalen Adams, has stepped up and been the player that all of the preseason pundits thought that he would be. It's not surprising to me now. He was considered one of the top 50 players in the country. I'm not surprised now that he was an All-American candidate based on his performances in the last 2 games. And I think he's such a team player. If you look, he's got quite a few assists as well. He's not a selfish player. I think he looks to get everybody else involved first. But I think when it comes down to it, if the other guys aren't stepping up, he's going to step up and he's going to put the team on his back.
It's going to be an emotional weekend at St. Bonaventure. It's alumni homecoming. They just had the Bonnie Day of Giving. The university seems to be in high spirits, and I was told yesterday that the basketball team has been a huge catalyst for some of the alum to come together in the last few years. The team is very important to the community.
Well, if I can just share a little bit of my experience growing up and living in Olean, I remember as a 7 and an 8-year-old, I remember going down Main Street in North Union Street in Olean back when in the Bonnie's heyday with Bob Lanier and all of that, and the community just embraces that team and loves it, and they love it when the team is successful. And I know they're going to jump on board, and these are not bandwagon fans. These are fans that have stuck with St. Bonaventure University men's basketball through thick and thin. They've been there in the high times. They stuck with them in the lean years.
All right, Ron, we are going to be watching very carefully this weekend, and I'm looking at the rankings right now for the top 25. The Bonnies didn't get 1 vote when they vote for other receiving votes, but I think if they were able to win their game against Richmond on Saturday and maybe win another one next week, we will see maybe the Bonnies sniff the top 25 for the first time this year. It's going to be very interesting down the stretch, my friend. Thanks for the contribution this afternoon.
You got it. Have a great day, and go Bonnies. I look forward to seeing them defeat Richmond this week.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Ron. Thank you.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Get your first defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. Like great food, great news needs experts. Become a community reporter when you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about. Drop us a line on Facebook today. Speaking of great food, Jeremy's Bellevue offers pasta, classic burgers, seafood, and of course, wings. Visit Jeremy's Bellevue on Facebook. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to News Now. CVS is raising its minimum wage for employees to compete with other retailers. USA Today reports the company is boosting starting salaries to $11 an hour, which equals salaries at Walmart and Target. The drugstore chain also says it will give raises to pharmacy technicians and many other workers already making higher wages. CVS expects the added salaries, along with maintaining health insurance premiums and increasing parental leave, to cost about $425 million a year. The company says it is investing its tax savings into the workforce. And a Jamestown man realizes a dream publishing his first novel. Jamestown's Christopher Scott Poole has always wanted to be a published author, and now that dream has come true. Poole's first novel, Divine Liberty, is published, and he is happy to have reached a long life goal. The fun labor took Poole 3 years to write, but he admits he wasn't as steadfast in his schedule as he could have been.
It took me 3 years, but I wasn't really disciplined while writing it.
Yeah.
I've always been a writer, and I started going with this one. I really liked where it was going, and I just kept it. I didn't work on it every day, though. So.
Yeah. Who were your inspirations? Who do you read that helped you with deciding to do this?
Definitely watching Dragon Ball as a kid.
Okay.
That kind of inspired me throughout my life. I seek God a lot,
yep.
And I've done martial arts for a long time. My coach is the model for one of the characters in here.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I edited it myself, and when I started, like I said, I just liked the idea. I wrote it when I was a lot younger, so it wasn't really formatted properly. Mm-hmm. I didn't know everything I know now about grammar.
Yeah.
So every single word and every syllable is supposed to line up. But I had to go through and, if one thing's off, it messes everything else up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I read through it about 4 times.
Like most writers, Poole has his inspirations. He credits watching Dragon Ball and his love for God and his martial arts instructor, as he said. His self-editing was the hardest part of the project, and Divine Liberty is available now at bookstores, online, in hardcover and paperback, and ebook format.
That's awesome. I never knew that you could even publish a book yourself.
Oh, but you can. It's easier in certain regards, and it gives you more control over the project. And it's also, you don't need an agent that's going to take 30% of your contract.
Right, which will be nice.
It has a negative side in that you're the marketer. You have to go out and promote. But I'm eventually going to be self-publishing a poetry book, and I did publish an ebook once, and it didn't sell very well because people don't read poetry anymore. Right. But yeah, there are a lot of venues now that there never used to be. Self-publishing.
We wish him
online.
Well, for sure.
Yes.
Quick final look here at your First Defense 7 Days forecast, sponsored by Quick Solutions. We'll see that changeover of rain and snow this weekend. Could cause some slick conditions, but we warm up for next week.
All right, well, thank you very much, Justin. Yeah. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to join us right back here Monday at noon. In the meantime, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. And we leave you now with a look back at the week that was.
31-year-old David Wright was charged with second-degree arson related to fires at Phillips Street and Mount Vernon Place.
Down in our direction, just a few little potato flakes are showing up on the radar.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Flu hospitalizations and deaths are on the rise amid a particularly rough flu season.
It's been a record-setting winter for Erie, Pennsylvania, and the city by the lake is about to record the most snowfall on record. Sheriff Joe Gerasi wasn't pleased after a county jury acquitted a man who was accused of trying to kill one of his deputies during a traffic stop in 2016. Prosecutors said 22-year-old Haffa crashed his vehicle on Route 60 in the town of Pomfret and disobeyed an order by Deputy Sarah Cunningham to participate in a field sobriety test.
I am extremely disappointed with the verdict. I think it sends a terrible message, and this is something that directly impacted my deputy and my agency, and very, very disappointed it ended the way it did.
Our Justin Gould was there.
There was standing room only Wednesday night at Frewsburg High School's auditorium during a DEC public comment session regarding Sealand Waste's proposed landfill in the town of Carroll. So what's next? Well, the DEC will review comments made here tonight and comments that were also submitted to them. The deadline to submit comments is Monday, February 12th. We have a link on how you can do that at our website, WNYNewsNow.com. Reporting from Frewsburg, I'm Justin Gould, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Joining us out there. First, I want to take a look at the Lake Erie camera in Buffalo. We're looking at the ice boom that they set up every year. If we can take Lakes One and take a closer look at that. Officials there telling us that 93% of the lake right now is covered in ice.
Do you have a favorite ice cream flavor?
You know what? I do. Just plain vanilla.
My brother's that way.
With like maybe a little chocolate syrup and a cherry. Like, hasn't Rory been doing such a good job the last couple? I thought you've done a
I'm not
great
the
job.
63 Mets, but I'm not the 2016 Cubs either, I guess. I'm enjoying this, though, and I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you for joining us. That's it for today. Be sure to join us right back here tomorrow because news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com.